top of the morning, and it is a beaut.
And the hope of the Irish as the future champion of the world.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio.
Welcome to the Barry J. McDonald podcast. The place where dreams get dusted off and acted on. Because life is too short. We're living on a rock that's flying through space, and hey, what the hell else were you going to do with yourself here?
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, today's podcast episode is entitled More Ideas, More Money. Now, let me ask you, when was the last time you thought, really thought, getting like a pen and a paper, sitting down for maybe an hour in a peaceful place and just actually think? When's the last time you've actually done that? When's the last time you've actually thought about your business and said to yourself, you know something, how could I improve on this business? How could I make it better? How could I automate it? How could I maybe set it up that, that I can take a couple of months off from this business, it'll run smoothly on its own, and when I come back, it'll still be there? Or when's the last time you said to yourself, you know something, these products I'm selling, is there any way maybe I can sell maybe a cheaper version of this product? Could I come up with a product that I could sell maybe for $7? Could I come up with a product that maybe I could sell for $700, $7,000? How many times you've actually thought about things like that? Be honest now. Now, I will be honest to you and say that I am probably like you. I never really gave much consideration to ideas. I would probably look at what everyone else is doing. When I used to go into fiction writing, I would look, well, everybody is going into this genre, so I'll just follow them. Or everybody's writing blog posts on this particular topic, so I'll follow them. Or somebody is creating a digital product on this particular thing, I'll follow them. And a lot of us do that. We just follow a person. And sometimes you don't actually maybe take time to think and say to ourselves, you know something, this person that I'm following, have they really thought about what they're doing? Or are they following someone else? Am I following a follower? And is that person at the front of the queue, have they, come up with this situation? Have they thought about what they're doing? Or are they following someone else? When you think about it, the majority of us don't really think in life. Everything is done on autopilot. You probably don't give much thought to what you have for breakfast. It's probably the exact same breakfast you have every single morning. You probably don't give much thought about, how you get to work. You have this route, you get in the car, you go on autopilot, and when you get there, suddenly you're in the car park. And you've never really considered to yourself and said, is there a shortcut to work? Is there a way I could maybe avoid this traffic? Is there, maybe the odd time you might have maybe thought about that a little bit, but you've probably gone back to running it on autopilot again. And again, too, with your business, going back to it, are you following everyone else? Have you given any thought into your business? I remember listening to Randy Gage, the great Randy Gage, one time, and he said that, if you are broke, if you are financially challenged, it's not because you're lacking in money, you're lacking in ideas. Now, probably like you, my initial kind of gut reaction to that was, Randy, you're wrong. I am just broke. I need cash. It's not ideas I need. It's dollars, it's pounds. I need money. But when you think about it, everything that we are surrounded by is ideas. Even if maybe you aren't, working in the business of your own right now. Say, for example, maybe you are building a business as a sideline, as a side hustle. Maybe you already have maybe a day job. Probably the person that you are working for, well, not probably, definitely the person that you are working for, whether that's the local store, whether that's the local factory, whether you are working in the service industry, the person who started that business, at one stage, that was an idea in their mind. That boss of yours at one point said, something, I think I'll start this service business, or I think I will start this local shop, or I think I will start this factory and start selling these widgets. And because they took action on that idea, that shop came about, that factory came about, that service came about, and that is how you've ended up working as an employee for that person. And again, you are working on their idea. Everything around us is ideas. The furniture we sit on, the cars we drive, travel, planes, spaceships, whatever, architecture, everything around us was initially an idea in someone's head. Someone took action on it. They created a physical version of what was in their head. And here we are. When you think about it too, ideas, a fiction writer maybe gets an idea for a particular type of book, writes that book, publishes it, they make money. Again, a blogger gets an idea of maybe writing on a certain topic, they write on it, put a couple of posts out there, and it starts to become popular, and they start making money from it. So everything is really ideas. And the more ideas you have, the more kind of chances that you will, you'll have more kind of income streams coming in. Or even if all the ideas you have suck, even if you only had one great idea out of 100. I remember Mark Cuban saying one time that you don't really need to be successful. You only need to be successful one single time. And that could be enough to set you up for the rest of your life. So going back to Randy's quote of, where you are right now is probably due to a lack of ideas. I want you maybe to, start using your brain. Because I said, I'm like you. I never really gave much thought, unless I was maybe in a situation where maybe my back was to the wall. Maybe I was broke down on the side of the road and I'm saying to myself, how do I get this puncture fixed? Or how do I get this wheel off? Or, how do I get this car started? Or, maybe the tap started leaking. How can I fix it without hiring a plumber? Or, how can I get the oil boiler going when I can't hire somebody, when I can't afford to do it? A lot of times I have come up with my best ideas when my back has been to the wall. And probably you too as well. And other than those times, we don't really think. We just kind of follow the herd. We follow the crowd. We look left and right and we copy what our neighbour's doing. And we never really say to ourselves, is this the best way to do it? Is there a better way? Is there any way I can automate this? Is there any way I can maybe make it better? Do we really need to, do it a certain way? Can we not do it faster? Can we not make it convenient? Can we not make it cheaper? Can we not make it more expensive? Can we not make it more profitable? A lot of us never really think about that. Now at the moment, because of that, I have gone back to some of the books I had bought a little while back, and one of them was one by James Altucher. Now, one of the books he has written is on the topic of becoming an idea machine. Because as he said at the start of the book, the biggest thing that is probably going to, or the biggest currency, what way did he say it? I'm trying to think now, I'm trying to paraphrase it. But I think he said the biggest currency in the future is going to be ideas. It's not going to be money. It's going to be ideas. Because, there will always be money out there, but there'll always be kind of a new idea. There'll always be a new Facebook invented, or there'll be a new Tesla, or there'll be a new service, or a new app, or a new book, or something. But there'll be something new that will be, come up with, and the money will kind of follow along with it. So going through his book, what he does is to try and, fire up that grey matter in your head, or actually make you start to think and do it on a regular basis. And what he does in that book is he gives you a particular topic that he wants you to come up with 10 ideas. So for example, this past couple of days in the book, it's asked me to come up with maybe 10 books that I found really, really helpful and what I learned from those books. Or come up with 10 maybe videos or movies that have been really kind of influential for me and what I've learned from them. Or maybe 10 yoga poses that I could maybe, come up with that could be based on animals. So a lot of kind of random things. And I found this past couple of days, as I've been kind of thinking about all these kind of random things, it's making me think more of my business. Again, I'll probably use it in the future maybe for finding it easier for coming up with podcast ideas or emails or product ideas by kind of, firing up my brain more often and sitting down with a pad and pen and just testing myself. Can I come up with 10 ways to do this? Can I come up with 10 ways to do that? So what I would do is maybe just challenge you maybe to look at what you do and look at it through fresh eyes. Maybe sometimes maybe a new perspective kind of helps as well. If you look at your business through maybe a new light, whereas you might say to yourself, okay, what if Elon Musk was given my business today? What's the first thing he would do? How would he run it? What would he automate? What kind of products would he create? Again, what if Jeff Bezos was given your business right now? What would he do with it? Or maybe if you're into fiction writing, saying like, if Stephen King was suddenly given my writing and publishing business, what is the type of books he would write? How would he write them? What would he do? How would he promote them? And sometimes kind of looking at your business through a new perspective will make you look at it in a completely different way, because a lot of us kind of get bogged down in our own thinking. You know, we think, well, this is the way everyone else is doing it, so that's the way we need to do it. And then you find someone comes along, does something kind of completely different, and then you say to yourself, God, that was so obvious. How did I not see it? How could I, ignore that? Or how did I not notice that? And yet it was right on your nose. And the reason you missed it was because you are always looking at your business through your eyes. So what I want to challenge you maybe is to, look at what you do through a new lens. Maybe test yourself on, on different topics. I would recommend you do get that book, How to Become an Idea Machine. If you do a search for James Altucher, you'll probably find it in Kindle. It's not that dear. I think it's only $1 or $2, but it's a great kind of, starting place, just to kind of get you kind of rolling and getting you thinking more, and maybe putting more time aside every day to think about your business, or just to think about different things. Because as Randy Gage says, when you think about it, we really, if you are in a financial situation where you're challenged, it's probably due to your ideas, your lack of ideas. And a lot of us who are probably lacking money, it's because we're not thinking. It's because we're looking at what our neighbours do. It's because we think, well, everybody needs a 9-to-5 job, and this is the only hourly rate I'm ever going to have. And whenever we're thinking to ourselves, well, if I was to have a Lamborghini, if I was to live in a mansion, do I really think these two are going to match up? No. So if I want the mansion, what's 10 ways I could improve my income that could bring me closer to that mansion or to that Lamborghini? Or what's 10 ways I could get 1,000 followers on Facebook today? What's 10 ways I could get maybe extra listeners on my podcast? What's 10 topics I could write about in my daily emails? Start using your brain, start coming up with more ideas, and you will start separating yourself from the crowd. You'll start coming up with great ideas. Now, originally, as James Altucher says, your initial ideas are going to be bad. They're going to be terrible. But if you only have one great idea out of 100, I remember Mark Cuban saying one time, you only need one great idea to be a success. Just one. So even if you do 99 bad ideas and you have one good idea, that could be the thing that could set you up for the rest of your life. So, as I said, start using your brain more. It's something I'm doing at the moment. I have set up this kind of daily practice that I'm doing every day, where I set aside maybe half an hour. I take a topic in the book. I try to come up with ideas, but I'm also looking at my own business through a new lens, trying to come up with ways that maybe I can automate something, ways maybe that I can, lift myself out of certain parts of the business and come up with new product ideas and emails and all those different things. So I'm using my own brain as much as I can, because I did neglect it, like many of us do. We just follow the herd, and then we are surprised when we end up in the exact same places as the herd does. So give that some thought today. Again, thank you for your time today. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Before you go, Barry wants to show you how you can use the power of stories to sell more of your products and services. He says that if you head on over to the rightcome.com website now, he'll show everything you need to do. Have a great day, and thanks for dropping by.